For this week's assignment, you'll need to gather some supplies. You'll need a pencil, a ruler, scissors, and any sort of coloring materials you have on hand. I use colored pencils, but feel free to use paints or markers, watercolors, whatever you see fit. We're just starting with our pencil and our ruler, and you will need to make at least 3 rectangles or squares on your paper. They can be any size that you want. I'm using the straight edge of my ruler to create my rectangle. Take your time with this and hold the ruler down with 2 fingers. You'll see mine just slipped right here because I wasn't doing that. So if you use 2 fingers to hold it down, when you have it in the right place, it'll be good to go. We'll cut these out in the end so you can put your rectangles anywhere on the paper. You do want to leave a little bit of space in between each one because we will be adding around the rectangles as we go. These rectangles are now your canvases for your artworks. So before you begin, you should think about what you're going to draw and think about if you're going to have a theme for your artwork. A theme is when all of your artworks have something in common. I chose to create a seascape, cityscape, and landscape. I think because I've been inside for so long, I wanted to think about other more exciting places to go besides just my house. So I used that as my inspiration for my projects. You can choose any sort of theme. You could do portraits of your family members. You could draw animals. You could do abstract art. You could also recreate famous artwork if that's what you're interested in. We usually don't copy artwork in art class, but for this, I think that might be a fun challenge to give yourself as well. You could try to paint the Mona Lisa, or you could recreate the Starry Night. That's completely up to you. However you choose to finish these canvases, I am looking forward to seeing the wonderful masterpieces that you make. Now, I obviously can't draw this fast in real life, and you should not try to either. Take your time. I sped up the video so that you don't have to watch my paint dry. I know it's not as exciting to watch somebody draw as it is to create your own artwork. So you can use mine for inspiration, but hopefully you come up with something new and interesting and exciting, creative and unique, just like you. Once you've put the finishing touches on your masterpieces, it's time to make some picture frames. So I'm using a black marker, you can use a Sharpie, and I'm drawing some curves around the edges of my canvas and then connecting them with interesting lines. I want all of my picture frames to be different and unique. You can look around your house at the pictures you have on your walls for inspiration. I wanted to have fancy gold picture frames for my artwork. I actually don't have a gold marker at my house though. I have all of our fun art supplies still in the classroom at school. So I just chose a yellow marker to get that same look. I think it looks close enough. What do you think? So I just added a couple extra details. You could add some highlights or shadows if you want to make it look three-dimensional. I wanted each of my picture frames to look different and unique, just like the artwork itself. If you happen to have real picture frames at your house that are available, feel free to use those as well. You don't have to draw them. You could cut them out of cardboard and paint them so they look more three-dimensional. If you have air dry clay or Sculpey clay at your house, you could also make them that way. I think that would be really interesting. And I'm going to carefully cut them out with my scissors one by one, using the inside of my scissors so I have more control over the corners. Please don't try cutting this fast at home. You don't want to accidentally cut off some of your masterpiece. Pay attention to craftsmanship and the attention to all of those last minute details. Your artwork is about to be hung in a gallery or a museum, so you want it to look as best as possible. As your artwork is finished, you just played the role of the artist, and now you get to play the role of the curator or exhibit director. So you need to decide the look of your exhibit and find a place in your house where you can display this awesome artwork. I wanted my artwork to be hung in a traditional gallery, so I am hanging my artwork on the wall with some blue tape. If you wanted to create a sculpture garden outside like they have in museums, you're welcome to do that. You can put your artwork wherever you see fit. You could even make your own new gallery out of a cardboard box that's painted. You could use a dollhouse, use whatever is available, be creative. It does not just have to be hung on the wall like I have done here. Because our exhibit is temporary, we want to photograph our gallery or museum to document our hard work. So when you take a photograph of your exhibit, you should put something there to show the scale or the size of the work. If I were to photograph this right now and zoom in and crop it really steady, it might look like a normal gallery. I mean, look at those realistic gold frames. I'm going to place something in the photograph to show the scale of my artwork. Mr. Potato Head was the VIP of my art opening and was the first person invited. So this is the photograph that I took to show my tiny art show. My photograph was taken at eye level of the art show. The photo is cropped so there's nothing distracting in the background. I steadied my hand before I took the photo so that the image comes out nice and sharp and not blurry. I don't want to miss any of the awesome details that we put into our art show. So now it's your turn. I cannot wait to see your tiny art shows. I miss having you in class so much, but seeing your submissions every week has been so exciting to me. I love seeing the work that you're coming up with, whether it's through the assignments I've been giving you or just the fun things that you've been doing on your own. I'm so happy that you're keeping those creative wheels turning. So I'm looking forward to your submissions, and I can't wait to share with you what everybody else has been doing as well. Have fun!